Next we're going to be assembling the steering sector and the sector support. I've already put a little grease on the shaft. That slides on next. Then a washer. The spring goes on. And the cotter pin goes through that. Now it's ready to be assembled to the next piece. Now the steering sector can get bolted up to this bracket. It's held in place by 4 bolts. Now we're ready for the steering shaft and the gear on the bottom side. I installed the steering shaft off camera. When you put the gear on, the shaft slides up through the bottom. There's a timing mark there and one on the gear that need to be lined up. And then you put the cotter pin in it. And that's it for the bottom side. Now for the top side, the spring slides on the shaft. And the washer goes on it. Press that down, put a cotter pin through it. Now the assembly is ready to mount on the tractor. Steering assembly goes down in. Sets over the frame rails. Two bolts go on each side of the frame, as well as one in the bottom on each side holding this bracket up. Okay, the final piece will be the drag link from the steering sector up to the front axle. Drag link bolts up to the front axle and the steering sector is held in place with a lock nut on each end. That buttons up the steering for the bottom half of the tractor. Next piece that goes on will be this bracket. The battery eventually sits here. That's held on with 2 nuts. And there's an angle bracket goes on each side. It goes down to the frame rail. Next piece to go on will be this firewall bracket. Once that is on, bolt this bracket up. Last thing to do is put this bushing in up here. I've already greased the shaft. Washer goes in it. Another cotter pin. Pliers bend that over. Steering wheel will go on, but that can't go on until all the rest of the dash is put together. And those two springs that were on there basically keep tension on them gears to keep the backlash out of them, so the steering works a little better. But everything's working like it should. Had a couple comments on an earlier video about my hoist, so I thought I'd give that a little show quick. It's basically a copy of a standard engine hoist that I made. It's all 3x3 steel tubing. Then I have this 110 volt hydraulic pump on it with a directional control valve. And I mounted a couple relays in here to run it up and down. Then it's just got a standard push button system off of a hoist on it, just to run it up and down. Makes life a lot easier when you're working by yourself. You're not trying to reach over and release the screw to lower it down, or pumping it up by hand all the time. Really works great for me. I don't know what the capacity is on it, but I've yet to run into anything it couldn't handle. That'll wrap up this episode of the lawn tractor restoration. If you find these videos helpful, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to do the best I can to show how everything goes together. I'm certainly wishing I would have videoed it when I was taking it apart. It'd be making life so much easier now. Catch you next time. Thanks.